Thank you for joining me, folks. We are in the process of purchasing our first truck. We are at the Freightliner dealership. We have picked out a chassis. Actually, we didn't pick out a chassis. By default, it's a 6x2 chassis uh, with a two axle drive with a 120-gallon tank. We can upgrade that to a 6x4, so another drive axle, and that really increases our performance, especially on heavy cargo. So that's my most important toggle right there. We've chosen a 400 horsepower engine and a 10-speed transmission with retarder. We've chosen a gray interior as opposed to a tan interior as opposed to the gray. We didn't make any external purchases. I'm sorry. We chose this cheap paint design from Dayton Hudson Corporation. No external accessories for right now, and we're just in the process of getting some internal accessories. So on the console, my personal favorite are these cab cats, and my cat at home is a tuxedo cat. Her name is Sally. So we will let Sally ride on our dashboard. There she is. And of course, she's going to need a litter box. Put the litter box on the floor. In the seat, how about we add her friend Tobias? There's Tobias. We're in a day cab, so not much more than that. Cup holder sets. That's great. Here, I'll grab a bottle of water and a can of Coke. On some hanging items, I'm going to go with this air freshener. That should be good. That's kind of how I like it. So, $119,000. We'll confirm that price and we will purchase that truck. And we're going to send that truck to our garage in Evanston, Wyoming. Our world has now instantly changed. Anytime we want to be somewhere else, we've got to either drive to that new place, either with or without a load, or we can pay to be transported there, ostensibly by airplane flight, but you pay to get somewhere. And here we are at our one and only garage in Evanston. Quite a momentous occasion, having a single bay garage and your absolute very first truck. But we've got a lot more money to spend, and we're going to have a healthy loan payment to make. So we've got to get a driver below us. So to get a driver below us, we need to buy a new garage. Now we've got the one in Evanston, and instead of deadheading to a new garage, let's take a job. Might as well drive our new truck. Why not? Let's take a job to somewhere where we can buy a truck. $61. Denver to, okay, we want something out of Evanston. $42 to Laramie. And I believe I can buy a garage in one of these cities, Rock Springs, Rawlins, or Laramie. So we'll choose Laramie. Let's get to, now this is a warning that it's going to need a vehicle that has heavy cargo capability, and we certainly do. And that's why we took the effort to pay for these extra options to give us that heavy cargo ability. Fire up, into gear, and let's get ourselves to the pickup area. Now here's some train activity. Yeah, just past our fence is train tracks. Land near train tracks is usually low value land, so it's a good place to buy your truck empire, buy your garages, because the land will be cheap. And then once we have our load and we're on our way to our destination, to Laramie, we'll find a place along the way to buy our next garage. Okay, car, what are you going to do? Are you going to sit there? All he was doing there is pissing me off. Don't dilly-dally in getting over here to pick up your load, because I didn't look at the time limit, but sometimes the time limit is extremely small, like just minutes, and you'll miss the opportunity to pick up that load. But most of the time, it's usually 2 hours or so. Cruise control on. Now you can see by the green icon that in this Freightliner we can monitor our cruise on, off, and also our speed. We're set at 59 miles an hour, but we can kick that up to 75, and we no longer have to count the presses on the up increase speed on the cruise control, because we can see that right on the display. This Freightliner is a dream to drive. Those folks who don't know, Freightliner is a division of Chrysler Corporation. Peterbilt's and Kenworth's are both owned by a corporation called PACCAR Corporation, which is mostly a rail car provider. And then I believe Western Star is a Canadian corporation, but I don't know their corporate lineage. In the industry, Western Stars are often considered the creme de la creme. Mack trucks are owned by Volvo, so Volvo and Mack have a relationship. Macks are often considered some of the low end on the technology scale, but very rugged trucks. And what are we looking for? We got the, oh, see, now we didn't get here in time to get that high dollar load that was there earlier, I believe. $31 to Salt Lake City is the best they offer right now. So we'll take it. It is a road roller. 22, yeah, you get paid a little bit more money for the heavier cargo. It said 22,000 pounds is not monstrously heavy. Let's see where our road roller is. There it is. This is the first time we've had to latch on to our trailer as a company driver. The loads are all loaded in there. Okay. So that's what we look like. And let's hit the road now. Again, let's go to the map. And we're in Evanston. We're going to Salt Lake City. We're looking for a place to buy a new garage. That's the garage that we own. We're also looking for any question marks along the way that we can discover. There's a question mark and a garage for sale and a question mark. So let's visit that, and we'll visit this. And we're going to buy the garage when we get to Salt Lake. And actually, let's go up here and let's visit this in Ogden, Utah. Let's visit that as well. So first we'll go to Ogden, and then we'll come down to Salt Lake City, and we'll take care of that question mark and these couple of question marks down here. So that's our routing. And yes, we do add a little time going up to Ogden, but I don't think it's going to affect our delivery time. We'll still be able to deliver within the parameters. I certainly can feel the performance difference carrying this load, although 22,000, as I mentioned, it's as heavy as a lot of loads. How you doing, Sally? We still have a lot of money left, so we're going to be able to buy the garage, buy another truck, and hire a driver. And that truck and driver is going to be responsible for making our loan payments. And then the money that we earn is going to be our fund money. NEMF. It stands for New England Motor Freight. New England Motor Freight. JB Hunt is another one of those starter companies that if you don't have a lot of experience, I'm not sure if they train their drivers, but they do hire a lot of first or entry-level drivers. And whenever you see a JB Hunt trailer on the horizon, pretty sure that you're going to be able to pass them, because they don't go very fast. Usually governed at about 65. Many of the Canadian operators are governed at 63, which is 100 kph. And almost everything in the U.S. drives faster than 63. Okay, cruise control on. I'm going to hit Actually, you can see the icon is white, so the cruise control is already on. I'm going to hit the resume, and you can see the 75-mile icon came up right away, so I don't have to adjust the speed. This Freightliner is not lacking power. It's a fantastic truck. So even though we've set up in the navigation that we're going to be checking out a couple of question marks, I very well could have missed something during our planning. So I will keep an eye out just to see if there are any question marks that pop up on the fly. 167 miles, so this isn't a monstrously long trip. Again, about 250 miles is the most you would expect given our short trip constraint. Coming upon a scale house. Let's see if the scale house wants us to come in. We're also entering the state of Utah. This in real life, this is a port of entry. It's called the Echo Port of Entry, and it's almost always open. And you may bypass scale from time to time, but you generally would not bypass a port of entry. $53,000 is our total weight with our 23,000-pound trailer. So maybe a touch on the heavy side. Let's hit the resume. Once we're at 30 miles an hour, we'll hit the resume. There's 30, resume on the cruise control. Straight ahead on Interstate 80 would take us to Salt Lake City, but Interstate 84 heads up to Oregon. And on the way to Oregon, you go through Ogden, Utah, and that's what our plan is right now, to get up to Ogden. Near Ogden is Hill Air Force Base. When I was in the Marine Corps, I believe maybe my second deployment ever was to Hill Air Force Base. And as a Marine, I couldn't believe the luxury that Air Force bases provide their folks. Monstrously more luxurious on an Air Force base compared to a Marine base. That's for sure. That's the end of our 17 minutes, folks. So thank you for joining me for that segment. And hopefully we'll see you on the next segment.